Something stinks in the city of Rome, and I'm going to show you what that is and how we're going to fix it in the next 10 minutes. Hello, welcome back to Chill Cities with Caper Cafe, and welcome back to the city of Rome, which has had a bit of a makeover before I started this recording, and if you can't tell, my voice has had a bit of a makeover. I was recently at a hockey game and cheered a bit too loudly, so I apologize if it feels a bit raspier. As you can see here, before I started the recording, I did a little bit of improving in the city based on viewer suggestions and things that people wanted to see named in the city. And of course, if you would like to see a bit of yourself in the game, please make sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel to follow the progress of the city of Rome. So the first thing that I did off video was to redesign a bit the entrance of the city, and you can see here off of the highway coming into town along the water, I added this roundabout, I added some trees, and Lady Louie in the comments section wanted a tree named after them, and so I named the Lady Louie tree right on the entrance of town, right before the grid part of the city. But I also added a bit of a waterfront right along the bend of the river, where we're going to be adding in some small residential buildings. We could even look at adding in, I think I want to add in some commercial right along the entrance of this waterfront area, and the rest will be residential. We also had a request from Unexpected Funation, who I know from my Twitch channel, Caper Cafe, wanted to see Funation Firehouse, and now the firehouse here in Rome is named after them. VJ4 has asked for a viaduct, which, as I learned through Wikipedia and Googling, is essentially just an elevated highway or roadway. And I'm thinking what I'll do as the island expands is put a roadway along the inside edge of the island. The outside edge, I have some other plans, but that kind of leads me to the other thing that I have been wanting to do, which I said I would do at the end of the last episode, but I conveniently forgot, and that is to buy more tiles. And I'm buying them in sets of 9, and we have 12 available, and so I am eyeing these 9 tiles here to expand the city at only a cost of $92,000. So now that we have all of this extra space on my own, not as part of recording, I'm going to expand out the city on the island, look at developing new roads, new grids, of course, continuation of the grids. If we look at natural resources, there are some protected areas that I have now that I want to think about, mainly these agricultural areas, which we could also add on because we have unlocked livestock farming and stone mining. But when we do unlock grain farming, vegetable farming, and textile farming, they can go right there. But the main thing that I want to look at doing, which I unlocked via some development points, is the introduction of a wastewater treatment plant. Tiny Lord Commander had asked if they could have a sewage plant named after them, because here at TLC we get your together. And it is perhaps unnecessary, especially considering the amount of money that the city has, in that this costs $400,000 and costs $120,000 to upkeep. For some reason, Tiny Lord always ends up asking for the big ticket items. We're going to do it, and we're going to place it, I feel like, along the water, but set back a little bit, and with the intent of replacing the existing sewage treatment plant. And we'll have a highway that comes off of Dead Man's Curve, perhaps allowing people to slow down a bit on this curve. So to get things started, I'm going to look at taking this area here behind the water and creating a building pad. We'll just kind of dig into the side of the hill here. And we'll look at placing our wastewater treatment plant conveniently within that building pad. From the road, I think just a straight road, service road coming off of it. It can be maybe about here. Which, look at that. I mean, you spend money and you make money. We spent $400,000 on a sewage treatment plant that we can't exactly afford. But it doesn't matter because we got milestone 4 and we were given $1 million. So that was a net positive. And with this Grand Village milestone, we actually now have the ability to name districts, which we will most certainly do next episode, if not in between episodes. We've unlocked natural disasters, so we have to think about that. We've unlocked low rent housing and offices, grain farming, which I was just talking about, and forestry, which we've been reserving at the backside of our island for a bit. And we've unlocked buses and taxis and parks, so we can also develop what has been reserved for a while, this mountain view parkland area. So as I add in some roads, I hope everybody is doing well today. As you can tell, of course, I was at a hockey game, so my voice is very, very, very raspy, but it was a fun time. One thing that I had wanted to talk about last time, which I kept forgetting about, is video game music. I sometimes, while I work, I'm sure a lot of people do this, throw up some video game music. I think it's without a doubt one of the best motivators for getting work done. High tempo music, or in this case, perhaps low tempo music, because the song that I was truly engaged with this past week was Donkey Kong Country Bonus Room Blitz. Now, if you don't know that song, I really do suggest that you look it up, because it just really got stuck into my head and I could not get it out of my head. And I haven't really played a whole lot of. I've never played the original Donkey Kong Country from the Super Nintendo. So let's name this TLC's Get Your Together Treatment Plant. There you go, Tiny Lord. You have your own treatment plant, which does come with expansions, which I naturally would like to buy. I don't know if I actually gave myself quite enough room. I gave myself enough room to just put one extra processing unit, with room back here for another one if we needed it. For now, we'll put on a single extra processing unit, as well as advanced filtration systems. Oh, that's actually this one. Oh, okay, I see. That then we'll put here. We'll make this building pad bigger. I thought that was built in based on the symbol it had there. Maybe even give this a bit more room over here so that we can smooth it out. Excellent. And with this connected to the network, we will most definitely get rid of this sewage outlet, which we don't need anymore, and get rid of this pipe, which originally ran all the way into the center of the city, but I don't think, if I take a look at the network, we don't need anymore because everything has developed out towards the new sewage treatment plant. And so finally, to help not disturb the cemetery goers at this extremely industrial building, we're going to place some trees. Kind of place the trees a bit all around the treatment plant. Maybe mix in another type of tree for variety. But over here, we'll get the brush a bit smaller. Remove the trees that are too close to the water's edge here, and then individually add in trees where there's quite a lot of gap. And hopefully these trees will grow very large and not bother the people going to the cemetery. And I think I like that quite a lot. It's quite a nice looking building here in the corner of the island, processing everybody's waste. And before I do some extra zoning, there's something that I'd like to bring up. I had an excellent comment from Scott S. Fowler talking about the elementary school and the amount of noise that the elementary school produces, especially for the people who live near it. These medium density buildings, the row houses next to it, and the row houses across the street from it. They mentioned that the row houses in front of the elementary school will have a -1 from noise pollution. You might want to consider 2 to 3 zoning squares plus road as an offset. Now the goal of the game, unfortunately for me, has been to try not to demolish things, although I did of course redesign the entrance to the city, so I suppose I could always redesign this, but ideally I don't want to kick anyone out of their own homes. But they are quite right, because there is currently a -2 for high noise pollution caused by the school, and across the street it's a -2. The apartment buildings, it's a -3. And if you look at the noise pollution of the elementary school, it's pretty extreme. And I'll admit, in Cities Skylines II, so far I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to noise. But I certainly will in the future, and when we start zoning around the high school, it will definitely be on the top of my mind. But I think zoning is going to have to wait for another day. I thank you very much for your time in watching this video. Of all the other videos that you could watch on YouTube, you chose this one. And if you'd like to watch more chill videos from Not Your Buddy Friend, they're appearing on screen right now, including episodes of Chill Cities by Caper Cafe and Man Cave Chris's new Noob Valheim hardcore series. As always, thank you very much for watching. And remember, Rome was not built in 10 minutes, and I'll see you next time. Bye.